Oh, yeah. Romeo's dead. Forgot about that. I mean, the real question, wherefore the Romeo, means why is he Romeo? But I guess that doesn't really matter anymore now that he's dead. My poor Romeo. My poor sweet Paris. Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. Oh, don't be startled. I'm just here on my balcony, staring up at the stars, lamenting about the past. Well, you see, even though I am rather young, I've already lived quite a tragic life. But that's not important. You're here now. Aren't you just a lovely, lovely creature? Oh, don't go away. Stay for a moment, please. So, what brings you here this evening, underneath my balcony? Oh, you're just going through a stroll through the villa? Well, how fortunate that our paths have crossed. Well, I was just here, looking up at the moon, lamenting my woes. You see, the love of my life recently passed away. Romeo Montague. Have you heard of him? I'm sure you've heard of his family. There's a bit of a rivalry between the Capulets, my family, and his family. Although now with his death, the prince, who is one of my kin, has decreed there will be no more feuds. It's time to live in peace and love. You seem like someone who understands much about love, passion, and comfort. I must say I'm very enchanted by you. But anyway, back to my woes. So my darling Romeo, my soulmate. Well, we were not quite meant to be, or so it seems. I thought we were going to be together forever, but alas, it didn't quite work out. And even my betrothed, you see, I had a betrothed and a husband at one point. I've lived quite a full life already. Well, I did indeed marry Romeo. Friar Lawrence took care of that. And I was technically betrothed to the dear Paris. But they are both gone now, departed from this life, and I do miss them. But, it wasn't really my fault. I blame Friar Lawrence. He was supposed to get a message to Romeo. I mean, how was I to know that when Romeo came across my admittedly dead-looking body in the chapel, that he'd be moved to such grief that he would take his own life? And before that even happened, who knew that Paris would be there mourning me as well, and they would have a fight to the death, and Paris would die too. Well, when I awoke from my death-like trance and I found my darling Romeo and my dear Paris dead, well, I was shattered, absolutely heartbroken. I saw a dagger in Romeo's belt, and I was very tempted to use it on myself, for my grief was so strong. And yet, well, it just didn't seem quite right or fair that I should lose my life just because Romeo and Paris were a little too hasty in their decisions. I was indeed heartbroken. But, I thought to myself, there are plenty of fish in the canals of Venice. Have you heard that saying before? And I have too big of a heart and far too much love to give, as I'd love to prove to you, to just end my life like that. I mean, Romeo's dead, Paris is dead, Mercutio's dead. A lot of people have died. Not because of me. Again, I blame Friar Lawrence. I mean, he's just the worst. So it's really not my fault, you know? And I can't mourn forever. They're dead, they're gone. I think it's high time I move on. Don't you agree, darling? But anyway, I'm just here rambling about myself and my past. And, the past is the past, and the present is now, and the future can be ours if you so like it. And again, I am so happy that you happen to be strolling through our villa. Do you happen to know anyone from my family? Oh, Rosalind. I guess she's pretty if you like that type. The friendly, non-creepy, non-clingy, uncomplicated type who doesn't romanticize double suicide. Not that I'm like that. Like I said, it was all a misunderstanding. I would never condone double suicide, although sometimes I do become so passionate that love does seem like a life or death matter. And there are times when I think that I'd rather have my lover no longer be on this earth than reject me or leave me. But those are just foolish thoughts, of course. I would never act on those passions. Again, all Friar Lawrence's fault. But that's not important. The point is that Rosalind's fine, I guess. But she's a little boring, Someone like me, my sweet. Well, you would never have a boring life. Secret marriages, hiding around, having to stay far away from my father and my angry cousins, who would definitely defend my honor. But for someone like you, darling, well, I'd be willing to let my honor slip away, if you know what I mean. You're just so compelling. Your eyes are beautiful. Your mouth is just so lovely. I can feel myself getting all overheated here. Maybe we should take a moment to collect ourselves. Perhaps since you are here, visiting me on my balcony, you have some poetry you'd like to recite to me? Oh, you have written a poem. Well, I'm not surprised. I have been known to attract quite a few suitors in my time. Although a lot of people say it's my family's fortune they're after, but I guess I'll use whatever I can to ensnare my prey. Not that you're prey, my sweet. So what poems have you written about me? You haven't written them about me? You've written poems for Rosalind? What do you all see in her? She's so boring. I mean, yes, she's a little bit older and more mature and, doesn't threaten to kill herself all the time or have lots of potions littering her room. But I mean, who wants to live that life? Why would you want to just be with someone that you could easily ask my father or the head of the family, can I marry Rosalind? And they would say yes, and then you could have a boring public wedding. Wouldn't you rather have something more dark and seductive and mysterious? No? You want to live a simple life. Well, I could give you a simple life, darling. Yes, my life's been a little complicated before now, but I'm older now and wiser, and I've learned from my mistakes. And I just think you and I would be a great match. You're just the person I'm looking for. You're not interested? I'm not your type. I'm too young and too fanciful and too passionate. I've never heard passion being a flaw before. You should have seen the poetry that Romeo would write for me. Why, my Romeo would compare me to the sun and the stars and the moon. As mysterious as the moon, as devious as the night. That's what used to be written about me. And indeed, I do think I'm quite like a burning star, fiery sun. Of course, I would never burn you, darling. I would never ever hurt you. I mean, unless you keep thinking about Rosalind, then I might not have any choice, but I'm sure I can help you forget all about her. I mean, I did get Romeo to forget all about it, and Paris was already in love with me at the beginning, which was great. I didn't have to work too hard on that. Of course, he didn't know me very well. Usually when my suitors see me on my balcony, it's love at first sight. And then I open my mouth, and then they start to inch away, and then walk away, and then run away. It's the most bizarre thing ever. And then, they tend to trip over some loose cobbles in the pathway, and then I might have to set my dogs on them, and the dogs drag them back, and they're never heard from again. Not that that has to do with me or my dogs. They probably just get lost. As you've seen from our villa, it's very vast. I mean, an accident could very easily happen to you, especially at night. Now, sweetheart, we wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you, would we? I mean, I know I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to you. And I'm sure you'll be quite safe as long as you start playing along and paying a little more attention to me and getting your mind off this cousin of mine. In any case, I can tell you and I have something special. What can I say? I'm Juliet, and I'm such a romantic at heart. And this connection, this bond between us, well, I knew it was there the moment I laid my eyes on you. So what do you say, sweetheart? Shall we do it? Shall we wed? I have Friar Lawrence not too far away. He can marry us in secret. No one has to know. And we can stay here together forever. I'll hide you away and no one will ever see you again, except for me, your wife, and I suppose my nurse could lay eyes on you once or twice. She's well trained to not seduce or look too long on any of my lovely suitors. I mean, I know my first marriage ended, I guess you could say, a bit tragically, but I think you and me would be very different. I would be certain that you wouldn't drink any potions you weren't supposed to, unless I wanted you to. So what do you say? We're moving too fast. Sweetheart, I don't think you understand what it's like here in Venice during this time. We're actually moving way too slow. We should have already been married at this point. We've been talking for, 5-10 minutes? I'm surprised we haven't consummated our marriage yet. I mean, it's not too late for that. I can easily pull you over to this side of the balcony, and I could have my nurse watch the door while you and I consummated our love. You're still just not interested, sweetheart. Perhaps you're intimidated by me. The Capulet family is very noble, very well known throughout the city. Could that be it? I'm just not your type. I don't even want to hear your type. If I have to hear you or anyone else say Rosalind's name one more time, I swear. No, sweetheart, you just must be confused. I'm sure that's it. You're probably tired and hungry, and I bet you're thirsty. You must be so thirsty, sweetheart. Of course, it's a very warm night, and you've been walking all this way. I might have a potion for you to drink. My beloved late Romeo, he had an apothecary he went to, and he did leave me with some potions, and not all of them are that harmful. Some just make you a little sleepy, and you might, enter the realm of death. but you wake up again. I woke up again. And when you wake up, you'll feel so much better. You'll feel like a new man, a new married man, because I'll have us married while you sleep. I won't consummate the marriage, though. No, I wouldn't do that. I'd want you awake for that. Where are you going? Don't you like my idea? Why are you running away? Come back. Darling, come back. My love, wherefore out my... Nurse? What was their name again? Oh, they never said their name, did they? Huh. Oh, my heart is broken, shattered into a million pieces. I may as well be cut up and cast into the sky to be tiny stars, to rain down my light and tears for the rest of my days. Oh well. What do you say, nurse? It's still 2 hours till sunrise. I'm sure that some more star-crossed lovers are certainly going to come across my path. It's just a matter of time. Now, where are my future loves?